Welcome back to the FlairBar.com show, live New Orleans, Tales of the Cocktail 2011. Dear old friend of Flair and FlairBar.com, Mr. Philip Duff. Philip, welcome.
Good to see you, Rob. You're clearly at an 11, but I need you at a 7. So let's have a drink to just sort of level you down.
Nice level drink.
I spotted Bobby's excellent new product, this Devil's Cut, the Jim Beam. And I must say, it's my first experience. How are you finding it?
I do enjoy it a lot. You explain the whole process from how it's in the barrel, and then what's left over in the barrel, you agitate it, add some water, and then the water takes on all the notes and all the alcohol from before, and you mix that with the actual product from before, and you got it to bottle proof. What a great idea, concept. It's really deep, and I love the body of it.
Barrels and barrels, baby. That's
Cheers.
what it's all about.
So you're an old veteran of Tales of the Cocktail. I don't want to say old. You're a veteran of Tales of the Cocktail. And Tales of the Cocktail 2011, what are your overall thoughts?
It's getting mega. My first experience was, I think, about 4 years ago. And I had come along expecting it to be a consumer thing. And I expected it to be like all these like nerdy consumers and people who come with misconceptions. And I didn't think the trade was there so much. But I came along and it was already quite big. And I had the very clear feeling that would be the last year that it was small scale. Because like back then, there weren't so many parties and events and seminars. So everyone went everywhere. Like if there was a party in the evening, it would be one party and everyone would be at it. Or if there was two parties, everyone would go to one party and the other one. And now it's just insane. You don't even know how many parties there are or where you should go. So you go to the big ones. Like someone's forever saying, there's a lot of like sort of unofficial events now. It's like, oh, you got to go to number 1741 Gravier Street and with a bucket of fish. And then you go there and it's like, aha, but what card does the Jack of Diamonds play? And it's like, oh, it's fantastic, but it is wearying. There's no overview.
I agree 100%. There's a lot to do, and in my opinion, we'll talk about it later, because I know you're in a short time. But at Tales this year, what was your favorite seminar, favorite event, favorite thing you've taken in so far since you've been here?
It's a good question, because everybody really ups their game, and they do such fantastic work. I really enjoyed the seminar that I just attended, actually, Drinking on Deadline with Wayne Curtis, Paul Clark and Dave Wonder, talking about drinks writing and being a drinks writer, the aspects of it, the business of it, the ethics of it. A sold out seminar. Every single seminar sold out this year.
Yeah.
And for me it was great, because I am full-time, whatever I am, and a part-time writer. I like to write, but I do it in kind of an amateurish and half-assed way. So it was nice to be able to dip my toe in the water there and see how guys who do it full-time professional roll. That was brilliant. And I left early and got drenched in one of these tsunami downfalls just to be here.
Which we appreciate your dedication. And in writing, you wrote a couple articles for us in the past, and I will say this, and whatever you say about yourself, I think you're a phenomenal writer, and in your own words, you like to stir the pot.
Oh yeah.
And it's very controversial, and you get us thinking. I love that about you.
I was talking to a client yesterday, and he had an idea for a new spiced rum. And it had this kind of a cool label, and it was all different interplay, like, angels and devils and wings and horseshoes. And he was like, yeah, we haven't quite worked all this out, but we're thinking this will appeal to the gay market. And I'm like, well, what is it? Do you want to be the next Smirnoff, or do you want to get a lot of attention and maybe some big company will buy you in a few years? And it's like, oh yeah, a bit of attention. I'm like, well then call it anal sex rum. You'll be on CNN in a week. Right, you'll get boycotts and hate mail and all that, but you know what? Someone's going to buy your brand for $8 million in about 6 months. If you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly.
It's so true. I'm going to use that quote. I love it. And speaking of being controversial and doing what you do and put your balls out there, last time we talked to you, you opened up Door 74. Put your balls out there. Open up your own place. Tell us how we're at with that now.
It's outstanding. I mean, really, we opened it in a very tough market. People in Holland aren't drinkers. Everyone sort of hated the idea, including my business partner and some of the staff. The idea of a door being locked, of having to make reservations, the price of the drinks, like being €10 and up. I always remember my now ex-business partner and head bartender. I jumped in and I did all the drink order for them, and I did the glassware order, I wrote the menu, I trained the staff and everything. So I ordered all the booze, and in Holland, you order from your brewer, because he's usually your landlord and your financier as well. They all carry a very small, limited range of stock. But I had found other suppliers who had fantastic, amazing products, things that make bartenders spray their shorts, and at great prices too. They said, we unpacked that order and we went an hour and a half, we didn't recognize a single bottle. It was great. It was great. And then we opened it, and we had, from the first moment, it was fantastic. And now it's built up to the stage that our sales goal used to be €2,000. You know, it's like, ooh, if we had sales of €2,000, which is about $8 million, right? It would be great. That would be our best night. You know, and now, 3 years in total on, it's more than that every single night. And more importantly than that, people get it. They like it. They understand it. It's no longer they're coming in to be in the cool place. They're coming in and they don't care if it's a cool place or not. They love what we're doing. It's so gratifying.
Nice. Well, congratulations. Someday maybe we do a remote interview. I mean, we can work something out. Maybe sponsor someone. But I just want to say congratulations, man. You make us proud. And you're a very smart, educated guy. That was a weak handshake on mine. But
it was a bit gay.
Yeah, but we were talking about gay.
I have a rum for you. If you need a rum and coke.
Spokesperson, sponsorship, door 74, on a Sunday day, someday.
Rob Husted, anal sex rum.
I like it. But I respect your opinion, and you're very high in the industry. Like you said, you get paid to do whatever, whenever. People throw money at you just to have you be there talking open your mouth. Speaking of anal sex rum, but what, in your opinion, what makes a great brand ambassador?
I'll explain that to you by referencing somebody that I've known for a while and I met him recently. This whole brand ambassadorship thing came along, or rather didn't come along. I moved to Holland and I opened several high-profile bars for clients. And then I started getting asked to do trainings abroad. Like one of my first major training gigs was in Japan. You know, this is like 1997 when no fucker had gone there. And then it was going all around, and there were no brand ambassadors or even titles, so I called myself a global brand ambassador. There was a few others. There was Angus Winchester, my friend and contemporary, and now it's blown up, you know, and everyone's a global brand ambassador. So recently, I was going out for a drink in San Francisco, and there's a great bartender there called Eric Castro. He's bartended at every bar in town in what is arguably America's best cocktail town, and certainly until very recently was undoubtedly America's best cocktail town. He'd worked at Bourbon and Branch and all that. And he'd just been hired to be a brand ambassador. And I got the chance to hang out with him all night. It was me and him and the famous cocktail blogger Camper English, who went out, we had dinner, we went here and there. I thought to myself, this guy has what it takes to be the most superb brand ambassador, far better than any of you or I could even name, because he has impeccable cocktail skills. I mean, that's by far and away San Francisco's best bar for a long time, San Francisco. But he is unfaultingly likable. We are, as bartenders, we are usually quite sociable people. We're nice, but this guy makes us look like autistic hermits, and that's the essential quality of an ambassador, isn't it? Whether you're a diplomatic ambassador or a brand ambassador, you want people to like you, and they should be heartbroken if you don't consider them to be your friends. You know, so and he has it in spades, and I predict he's going to be one of the most successful and effective brand ambassadors in the market.
Good for him. We look forward to hearing that name soon. Now let me ask you this. It seems like in the past, we all started out in flair bartending, flipping bottles and trying to get laid, and you and me, we all done it. But now I'm looking at it, those same people are all kind of move up in the industry. Yourself, for example, Todd Connell, Brian Lucas, Phil Raimondo, Bobby G, Anthony Alba, Paisan. There's so many out there right now, kind of moving up with that same passion. They stayed to be in the industry long enough. Do you think it's a good investment for these sponsors to invest in flair or passionate bartenders to see what would happen to them in the future?
Do you know what I think it's going to be? And I'm not even talking about flair now. I think we're going to see more what I call 360-degree deals. You know about the company Live Nation? Does that ring any bells?
Live Nation, the tickets, right?
Yeah, those guys. So in the old days, you were a musician or an artist and you signed with a publisher or a music company and they brought out your CDs and shit like that. And that was it, cool. Then, you know, maybe you'd go on tour. So what Live Nation did was they'd say to somebody like Madonna, it's like, okay, we're going to give you $180 million and your hours for the next 10 years. Everything you do, if you do a vodka or a tour or a CD. And I think it would be very credible for drinks companies to invest in bartenders. Because very often, you, as a drinks company, you might give, you know, a chunk of cash to a bar, right? And then that bar's star bartender goes on and opens a place that's even cooler. But you don't get that. You don't get an automatic listing in the new place. But if you invested in the bartender, if that guy went on to be the owner or the manager or the decision maker or the purchaser, and you said to him at an early stage in his career, when he was the equivalent of like a sous chef, and you said, look, we're investing in you. We're going to give you a budget. We're going to start off at 10 grand a year, and you can use that for education and promotion and training and travel, and we're going to up it, and we want you to list our products wherever you go. When you open a bar, we'll help, all that. I think that's the deal. It hasn't been done yet. It does exist with chefs. It obviously exists with musicians. And that's the possible new paradigm for our industry. I know for a fact it makes a lot of sense. Would you agree?
I agree 100%. My question to you would be, at an early age, like, or an early infancy of the bartender, how do you choose what bartender you're going to invest in your opinion?
You know what? I remember when our industry changed. I think you might have been there as well, several years ago at Tails. And when all the other guys got better, I was no longer good enough to compete, so I got to judge. And we'd just done the briefing for the finalists, arguably the nerdiest flair briefing in the world at the time. And that was at the time when at Legends of Bartending in Las Vegas, we were all together. You went in, you competed together, you drank together, you went out, And after the briefing, we would always go down to the Masquerade Bar on the casino level floor and have a drink. And that year, I think it was sort of like Christian Delpech's breakthrough year. That year, I went down after the briefing and there was no one there. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for somebody, if you send him an email, he answers. If you make an appointment for 9, he's there. Or maybe 9:30, but not 10 or 12, or the next day an email like, oh my God, I lost my phone. That's what you want. You want somebody who's already displayed the kind of discipline and attention to detail that has arguably transformed our industry, because until the sort of the wave of the Delpech's and everyone after them, we didn't quite have that degree of discipline. We were sort of like cognac producers. In cognac, you can only produce in the cold months. So you work your balls off for 4 or 5 months. You sit in your ass for the rest of the year. We used to work our balls off for like Legends, or Quest. But then we fucked around for the rest of the year. So what you're looking for is somebody with a totally different skill set to the party-hardy bartender thing. And you can actually see that at a young age. You can just say to somebody, hey, see you for a drink at 8 o'clock. And if he turns up at 8, that's something. It starts there.
I agree. And something to touch on what Bobby said, it starts there. It also starts on the way you look, the way you dress, the way you present yourself. And that's just my opinion. I agree 100%. But last question for you. Door 74, if I want to make a reservation, how do I get it?
Oh, it's really hard to get in there. Yeah, no, you're going to have to know somebody.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get in a suit.
You're looking kind of slick, man. It's kind of cool.
I think black slimming. With all the food out here, I need it. What is it, door74.com, the website?
Door74.nl.
.nl.
But you know what? Just go to Amsterdam and find the best bar you can find and go in and say, hey, I want to go for a drink at Door 74. They'll direct you.
And if they're in the know, they know.
And if they don't know, then it's a shit bar.
This is true. Philip Duff, thanks very much. Always a pleasure. We'll be back right after this. Jeff, I make a cocktail. I know you're in a hurry, that's why.
I really have to
That's
run
fine.
now. I have to do another
understand.
confessional.
We did this, so that was good. A nice little time.
This was mostly me warming up.